David Carradine, I love David to death, but David was what I call Meshuggah in the cup, in a good way. I love David, but David always listened to me. But when you work with David, you never know, no matter how much you work something out, this was David. And other people attest to this. Whenever you're working with David, as much as you work out, when it comes to action, roll camera, you're not sure if he's going to do what you rehearsed. So you're always very nervous. I tell a lot of stories. I tell about 4 or 5 stories about David. I love David. He was a great friend. He was a great friend to Doug too. And I worked many times and I hung out with David. And he was a very special individual. We had many good times off and on screen, and I tell 2 great stories that you would just be shocked and laugh on a movie called POW Escapes, or Behind Enemy Lines. There's 2 incredible stories about David in my book, and they're incredible stories. But he was a very unique guy, very special guy. No, you would never listen to David. Never listen to David.
Sifu, Douglas Wong, you trained David Carradine on the first Kung Fu, right? That's how you met him.
Yes, I was his first instructor when they hired me to work on Kung Fu. So I was teaching him different things where you walk on the rice paper and different things like this, and where he was supposed to break when he was tied up in the tent. So there's a lot of stuff that we had him do, but he couldn't do. Like there's a part where the mountain scene where 3 guys riders are coming through and he's supposed to jump off and kick them. Couldn't do it. So next thing you know, it's 3 riders and then it's just 3 horses. The mystery started. And he's kicking the knife in the bar when he walks up in the desert. He's holding onto the bar, but he can't do a front kick. So all you see is his leg kicking the knife up in the air. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff like this. I mean, Dave was a super guy. I've known him all the way up to the time he passed away. It was, my brother also doubled for him on the Kung Fu series. So, I mean, I've known David, Steven Seagal, Chuck Norris, all these guys, Sho Kazuki, all these guys before they got into acting. I've known these guys 10 years before they got into acting. So I know how they are with the martial arts. David was a dancer, so it took him longer to understand or even try to do the movement. But Chuck and these guys, they already had training. Sho Kazuki, all these guys. So they were martial artists. So they could do whatever you asked them to do. But David, it was hard as hell. It was rough. And he was loaded every day. I mean, he'd come out of his, oh man, I mean, he would smoke up a storm. I mean, open up his trailer, man, smoke just come flying out of there. And that's why he talked so slow, but he was always mellow. He was loaded. But he was one of the super nicest guy. He wrote about me and my brother in his book. And, you know, so, but he is a good guy, good guy.
There's a great story in the book, POW Escapes Behind Enemy Lines, Army movie, you know, so, and he's in the military. There's a scene in there where he's confronted like 15 bad guys, and I set it up, and you know, it's a war movie, shoot, shoot, shoot. I'm hoping he'll get through at least 2 without cutting, you know, to give David a long drawn out something is very difficult. It never works out, but I set it up. So I call action, he shoots one, he shoots another, and he just goes, the hell with this, and he throws the rifle down, and he starts trying to kick and punch the guys, and he's in a ravine, and they're on top of him, and these guys, and he's climbing up to him. After like 2 or 3 seconds, I go, cut. I go, David, what are you doing? And he goes, I want to do Kung Fu. I want to revert back to the old days. I go, David, the war movie. Yeah.
It's so funny. He thought he was that character.
Yeah. He wanted
That's funny. Oh, that's too funny. That's great.